Thank you.
Too late.
City Manager.
Item 4.6, still on page 48, is the request for authority to implement localization of tuck shops in eThekwini municipality. Committee recommends.
4.6, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on 4.8, no, 4.6, yeah, page 48. There's a proposal for the amendment before I take the speakers. The proposed amendment is from Councillor Mngwango, is seconded by Councillor Zuma. He proposed that on page 46, on item 4.6, page 48, that we add 4.6.3, that the head business support markets, tourism, and agribusiness conduct an investigation on tuck shops owned by the illegal foreigners and must report back to council, and in the effort of tuck shops localization, there must be an agreement between the municipality and tuck shop owners that they will not lease or sell their tuck shops to illegal foreigners. That is the motivation that Councillor Mngwango is proposing. I will now invite Councillor Mngwango to briefly motivate before we make a decision. Councillor Mngwango.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Firstly, Honourable Speaker, the initiative by the municipality should be welcomed because it's actually the right step to the right direction, considering that our economy has been struggling, especially our local business owners have suffered a lot from COVID and the unrest, etc. So we need to ensure that we localize our economy. But if you go around townships, it's a fact that out of 5 tuck shops, you will find that almost 3 of them are owned by foreigners. In the main, are illegal foreigners. Now, while this initiative is well placed, it may not assist us that out of 5 tuck shop owners, we only train 2 because only 2 will be local tuck shop owners. On that spirit, when we are saying, as Section say, can the head of department do a thorough investigation with the team to verify exactly how many tuck shops are run or leased by illegal foreigners in the city, because we can't firstly address the problem if we don't know exactly the extent of the problem. So we need quantified information on that. But also, after this initiative of this training, this amendment seeks to say, let's also have an agreement that we have given someone skills who is a local a person, but they must sign that when they run the tuck shop, they will not lease or sell to illegal foreigners. I think that should actually cover the spirit of what they're doing. So I think the motivation of the Speaker is self-explanatory. I don't believe anyone will need further explanation on this one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Mngwango. Councillors, are the proposed amendment agreed?
Agreed.
Right. May I have the screen, please? May I have the grid? Yeah. Secretariat.
Speaker.
Secretariat, please check your.
Ngenxa nje uthi umnqango no.
No movement. We are now voting. Secretariat, take your positions. Councillors, no movement. Those who are in support of the proposed amendment as presented, please raise your hands.
independent ayivoti.
Thank you very much. Those who are against the proposed amendment? Those who are voting against the proposed amendment, please raise your hands. Send right. Yeah, thank you. Ningahlisa izandla. Those who abstain? Kahleni phela ayikho into ethi mekuvotwa anisekho kwi-council meeting. Yeah, musani ukhulume ngathi asikho council. Are we sorted? Tim, are we right? Yeah, thanks. Right? Those who are in support of the proposed amendment, the number is 42. Those who are against, the number is 86. Those who abstain, the number is 48. It means the proposed amendment will not be effected to the report. Now we're going back to the substantive item.
There was quite a bit of anger in that community. Some calls for Spazashops there to be shut down.
Yes, Michelle, and that anger is still just in the air here. You can already feel the tensions in the community. But I want to show you and draw your attention to this home where we are. There's already security that's guarding a container where the tuck shop usually would work from. We understand that the owner of that tuck shop is currently locked himself inside that tuck shop. This is mainly because he's concerned, obviously scared for his life, mainly because of what's happening, but at the same time the community has given him leeway to then pack most of his stock and then leave. And the community just still very much adamant that those that tuck shop necessarily have to leave. So I want to bring in the community member now, which is Betha Zwane, to speak to us. Mama, if you can just explain, just perhaps explain to us the community very angry but very clear as well in saying the tuck shops must close. How many tuck shops do you have?
Approximately we have about 15 to close today. But to date already 3 have packed already. And we don't know about the others. We are now on the 4th one. The 2 packed already last night. What we did last night was we went on each and every shop. We spoke to the landlord, we spoke to the owner, and we told them that please, because of what happened, and we do not even have the answers already, we need you to pack and go. That is the decision that's been taken by the whole community, by the way, of Naledi Extension. So now what happened is we went to each and every spaza. We spoke to the landlord and the owner, and they all agreed that within an hour they will leave. But when we came back, we said, let us give them the whole night so that they can pack because they've got a lot of stock. But what happened was this morning at 7 o'clock, somebody called and said 2 shops already are trading. And we went and we checked and we found shops that are trading. So we really want them to move. We do not want to loot. That is very important. Naledi Extension community members don't loot. We are not hooligans. We are not thieves. We just want them to loot, take their things, and leave Naledi Extension in peace.
And is there a particular reason why you're choosing these shops specifically to close?
If you know, with all the Pakistani shops, these people sleep in their shops, they trade in their shops, they do everything in the shops. So there's a possibility that food can get contaminated. That is the biggest possibility. And the government and the health department, they are not checking the shops. Because if they were definitely checking the shops and making sure that these shops every month at least samples are taken from the shops to be tested, then we shouldn't be having this. This is actually it's a pandemic, because we cannot have 5 kids dying at the same time from one Spaza shop. And remember, last year we were having this very same interview with the 3 kids that were poisoned and 2 died. So this time it's going to be different. And that's what last year we just said to them, close. But now we are saying, pack your things and go. We do not want anything from them. Yes.
And a little earlier on, we saw obviously the low tension between the community and the shops that were still trading, as you explained, but they gave them a chance to then leave. Can we expect that the gentleman that's here also is going to be given the chance?
Yes, hence we are here. We want to give them a chance. We've been speaking to the owner, and he said the truck is now in Mayfair, and he will be here in 30 minutes' time. His 30 minutes will expire in 15 minutes, at 1:30. So we are waiting for him. So we are going to make sure that the whole Ward 120, it's clean before the funeral of these kids. We do not want, it's actually a very good, it's a lesson, it's a bad lesson. But what we want is, if they move and they leave their container, this is where now government must step in. They must train, they must have workshops, they must teach people how to run and own Spazashop and manage their financials. This is our next step. But our phase 1 is they must just move. That is phase 1. Yes.
And I want to bring your attention to this, because obviously we've seen a lot of officials coming to Naledi today, basically having conversations with the family, how they can assist, and just, comforting them in an overall. But then the question is, we saw this last year as well, happening as a community. What would you say is a sustainable way to ensure that the community is safe and it doesn't have any food poisoning like this for the children?
This is one thing that I spoke about last year. I don't know if there's still clips of what I think it was Power FM. What I said was, this is a chance for our government, rather than giving our kids a 6 months position of work and go work at the EPWP. Take graduates, take matriculants, go train them as health inspectors. You will get a lot of people, a lot of health inspectors, and then bring them back and give them that stipend, because then it will be now a permanent job. Then they can go and inspect those Spazas. That is the main thing. If the government can just do that and not give them the EPWP of cleaning the streets, they must just take them for training as health inspectors, because we've got graduates that are sitting at home. We've got matriculants that are sitting at home, and they can be trained to do that.
Thank you very much. That is Betha Zwane. She is a community leader as well. But I just want to show you that, as you can see there, the security is also just assisting with what is taking place. We understand that the shop owner is currently inside that container with an expectation that he'll be packing and leaving quite shortly.
And if he doesn't, Mobile?
Well, I think it's very clear from the community, and that's what they've said, that they've given them a space to pack and leave. And let me just bring in Betha again, just one more time. Failure to leave, Betha, what happens?
I don't know. I won't be responsible. I only know that we are giving them time to pack and leave. I've been out of my house since 7 o'clock. No tea, no water, nothing. Trying to make sure that they pack and leave without looting. Beyond that, it's beyond me.
Beyond her, Michelle, that's what she's explaining. But the community is adamant that they'll see to it that over these 15 shops, she just said, needs to close in the area.
Mobile, in the midst of all of that, the mayor is expected to arrive in that community within the hour. Is that correct?
Yes, we are expecting that the mayor will be here. Of course, we will confirm directly with his office, but we know that on the ground and the community has been talking about his arrival, which is expected to just come in within an hour. But whilst he's arriving, we understand that the MEC, Faith Mazibugo, if I'm correct, is already with the community. She's gone to the family home. We also understand Mashaba is also here on the ground. This is, of course, at the back of the fact that Steve Mabona, who is the spokesperson of education, was also going around homes with his entourage as well as the schools that have been affected, just sort of gauging and speaking to the families that have been affected.